Hey, my Scorpio babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot, getting ready to do your monthly reading for the month of December 2020. I have already shuffled and cut the cards. What I know so far, it feels like y'all are kind of in a tight spot. Speaking of Scorpio, there's your card. Huh? Y'all are dealing with it just feels like y'all are dealing with some maybe bad decision making or missing opportunities to expand on maybe a relationship or a job, and for whatever reason at that time you're like, fuck it, I don't want to do it. And you didn't do it. And now you may be having something akin to buyer's remorse. There's your commitment card down here. 10. It feels like some of you, when I was shuffling the cards, some of you are you're ending a cycle, a situation that may go back to as far back as 2014. So that's 6 years. I don't know what happened, however that's resonating with you. But yeah, see, that's where y'all are. In the land of illusion. So this is your challenge for the month, on top of the Justice card, which in that deck is for you. In this particular reading, it's about going back and seeking opportunities to grow. So there may be some things you skimmed over, skipped over. Your challenge is to see if you can go back, and of course that's the offer card right there, and if you can make things right. For some of you, you may get a do-over. For others of you, you won't, but you won't know until you try it. That's the best way I know how to say it. Looking at your overall energy with the 10 of Pentacles on top of the Death card. So this is, like I'm saying, this is some kind of cycle or something for y'all that feels like it's ending. And you're trying to get to overall material security. The happy family, if you will, on the other side. That's what you're trying to get to right now. You're trying to find material security. You're trying, and not just the money, relationship security, money security, and maybe, like I'm saying, some of the decisions you've made recently ended with an ending or a sudden change, and the ball may have been in your court, and you may have said, you know what, I'm done, and now you kind of are going back and forth on that decision. That could be a situation left unresolved that will cause blockages for you in the future. Just be mindful of that if that's resonating with you. On the back end of your overall energy, the Knight of Pentacles with the 7 of Cups sitting on top, more of your energy. You got hope, but you are still kind of living with the rose-colored glasses on. For some of you, this may have been a relationship decision to go back to somebody, break up with one person and go back with somebody else. If there was any kind of manipulation on your part, probably not going to end real well. I'm just saying. And again, looking at the 3 of Cups, you making an offer. You may have to go back and make an offer. You may have to go back and apologize and do some other shit. I'm just saying. Like I said, for everybody, it's not going to end the same. Some of you may try to go back to somebody and they may just flat turn you out. Others of you may get a chance to do it over, but there will be, for lack of anything else, penalties and conditions to come back. And you may not want to come back once you hear what the penalties, what the conditions are. So that'll be something to think about. For the first week with the 5 of Swords on top of the Knight of Pentacles, you trying to be a humanitarian, or as we say in the hood, Captain Save-A-Ho, right here, or horse, male, female, however that's resonating with you, it is causing a crisis in you. So in the same relationship thing, even if this is a job, and maybe your old supervisor is a friend and they begged you to come back, and you left a good job to go back to an old job, and now again, illusions, and some of those illusions are beginning to crack. And so again, that humanitarianism you're trying to have, Captain Save-A-Ho, is going to create some crisis for you. It may be financial. It may be upheaval of a relationship. It could be a lot of things. It could be a lot of things. So be mindful of what's going on in the beginning of this week coming up. If you feel like you've done something trying to help save somebody else, think about what led you to your decision. And if it's the decision that you've come to is not where you think you want to be, here we go back to the offer card. Start thinking now about what you can do to make changes. As you move into the week, the Emperor with the Knight of Swords, you're determined to get this shit right. Whatever the fuck that means. You are determined to get it right. So the Emperor in my little deck over here is about figuring out which way you want to go. In this instance, it's about figuring out which way do you want to lead. And it's not necessarily that you're leading anybody other than yourself, but really figuring out taking a confident decision in moving one way or the other. That determination is going to get you there, but the back end of this has unforeseen events. So if it's got something to do with somebody else being involved, they may not come up with the answer you're looking for. And again, back up there with that offer card, your determination, it might not pay off. It might not. It might not. And it may be more of a timing situation for some of you, particularly if it's talking about work. For others of you, it just may be an opportunity that's lost. With the Page of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, same energy, trying to persevere, but your mental health might suffer. So you may be depressed and a whole hoo-ha of other things. Do your best to keep the dogs off of you, as it were. Whatever it is that you do to pull yourself out of those kind of slumps, do it. Self-care is definitely a good thing for now. Doing things that you want to do, eating things that you want to eat, watching shit on TV you want to watch, uninterrupted. So you may need to schedule some of this time in for yourself. At the second week, with the Two of Wands on top of the Ten of Wands, you are, if you aren't already, depression is here. So, okay, I know what I'm saying. But you may be overwhelmed. You may be trying to do too much. That's fire. Rods, wands, that's fire. You may be trying to do too much. You may encounter an Aries, a Leo, and Sagittarius, and they may be trying to help make the situation harder for you. You may be planning to make other moves. So all in line with the same thing. You may have to just move forward, maybe not in the way that you wanted to or the way you thought you would, but the planning, make sure you think about what you need to get to whatever the next section is for you. With the Queen of Swords and the Empress, and so the Emperor, where did he go? The Emperor, ain't no mistake. And depression, coming up one more time. With the Queen of Swords and the Empress, and we got the booty end of the Empress, you may not be feeling the love right now. You may be feeling like everybody has turned their back on you. I'm just saying. You may be dealing with earth. I'm looking at the wheat. You might be dealing with air signs, so earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or air, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. There may be something that goes on in the next week or two that just kind of seals the deal. Again, like I said, for some of you, if you're trying to go back with an offer, this is probably what you're going to get, the hand and the back end of the chair. That may slide you into some depression, because at the end of this, you will just realize that whatever decision you made in the past to get you to this point, you will begin realizing, because this is old girl. Your name in the upper right hand corner, put the date in the upper left hand corner. Yeah, she's about that shit. And so the energy here, it feels like some of you may have just gone off script, trying to be in the moment, making a decision, and didn't make the right decision. And so now the whole little creativity thing is just kind of blocked up. Love, all of it, just kind of blocked up. And that may lead you into a depressive mode. Mind your money. It feels like for some of you, money that you're anticipating may not show up when you want it to or when you need it to. So do some planning ahead as far as your finances are concerned. Especially those of you here in North America, you get ready to get up on Christmas here in another couple of weeks. If you were planning on doing something specific for the Christmas holiday, you might not have the money to do so. At the end of this, Hierophant with the King of Wands, and you may be just feeling repressed. You may be feeling like everybody has turned their back on you. You may be feeling like any big action, because this is the King of Wands, that you want to take are going to be stalled or delayed. You know, we're looking at the back end of the card. So you may miss some opportunities. And that's funny how doing one thing can just have a domino effect on everything. You may miss some opportunities. And again, talking about lacking creativity, just like the Empress over here, about union, creation, and love on the front end, but you pulled the back end. So all of that is blocked. If you're feeling out of balance emotionally, if you meditate, now is a good time to kick it up. If you haven't been, kick it back in. For weeks 3 and 4, got more of a work focus to it. The latter half of the month, you may be asked to work a lot of overtime, stay over, do a lot of extra stuff with the Nine of Wands on top of the Chariot. Talking about overcoming difficulty. Eventually, you're feeling overwhelmed. That's the basic energy. But eventually, you will be able to get back in the hoorah, get back up on your pony, and do it again. And you'll begin to see glimpses of it, but you're not going to be able to capture all of it until you get into the first of the year, unfortunately. But you will overcome. But just be mindful, the back end of the card is about choices and regrets. So you're going to have to work through, and there may be some action that you need to take, particularly if it's got something to do with your mental health. You may need to go talk to somebody. You may need to talk to your friends, however that's working for you. But you may be looking for an outlet. Going back up here, this card is about repression. So, you know, it may just build up. Again, feeling overwhelmed. You get with the Seven of Cups. You may get to a point, there may be some things brought up where you start seeing where your past decisions kind of had you lying to yourself, thinking, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and it'll be like this, it'll be like that, and you knew somewhere that it wouldn't. There may be some opportunities, options coming up, whether romantic or business. It's really going to depend on where you are in the process. If you've got your focus, look at dude here looking over his shoulder. If you've got your focus on your rear view mirror on shit that you should be moving away from, this energy is going to be difficult to get through. This talks about being rational and cool, but it also talks about being liberated or liberation. So if you want to free yourself, free your mind, your ass will sure enough follow. I'm just saying. So you may need to, some of you may need to process an old relationship, an old business partnership, and this is that time of year when you start running into old folks, people you ain't seen in 100 years, and that whole shot. So do your best to take the rose-colored glasses off and try to stay cool regardless of whatever answer anybody gives you to anything, because people may, especially if you're seeking advice, people, if they're your friends, just using that as an example, they may put the truth to you and you might not like it. You might want to lose your cool. But in all of that, what you're hearing, and this is just like the Queen of Swords, it's about the boundaries and the framework that you established. So maybe going back over this again, looking over your shoulder going, damn, why did I do da-da-da-da-da-da-da? Wishful thinking is related to this card in this deck as well, which brings me right back up here to your overall on the back end. Those illusions. Even though there's hope, sometimes it's false hope because you're daydreaming about something or wishful thinking about something that's never really going to happen. Going to depend on your situation. For some of you, I hear exes, and some of you may have gone back to exes and thought they had changed, and you find out it's the same shit, different day. Matter of fact, same shit on steroids this time. At the end of this, with the Knight of Swords, and see, that's a lot of structure energy. Even though it's air, intellectual, and your thinking, it sets out the framework for your relationships. So, the word deceit, you may find out that whatever you thought was righteous, not so righteous, and start the process of detachment. So whether it's a job, whether it's a person, love affair, whatever you jumped into, you may find out there's lies, cover-ups, and some other shit. And that's more sword energy. It's almost like the breaking down of what you thought you knew, that part. And start detaching yourself from that situation because you realize it's like pissing in the wind, basically. But there's a lot of regret here. So whatever decisions you made in the past, maybe this month really is a good month to seek opportunities to grow and see where you can strengthen your decision-making process, that what you know versus what you think you know. Last week with the World card and the Knight of Pentacles, all of this will shake loose. You get out of it. However that's going to resonate. Here's the World card. So you're going to walk away. And like I said, for some of you, this feels like a little miniature cycle you may have gone through. This is it. So whatever you learn, of course, it's going to come back. You got to test. You always got to test messing around the damn World card. But also opportunities. So as one door is closing, other doors will open. With the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, that speaks to some stability coming back and new beginnings. The Ace of Swords, once again, dealing with this air energy, and you may well be dealing with an air sign. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, this fucking around, fuck around. But with the Ace of Swords and all of this sword energy, it's about your boundaries. Where are they? The King and the Queen of Swords, both of them on the board. What does the framework of your situation look like? And see, that starts in your head. Regardless of where your heart is, all of that starts in your head, because you don't want to be at the end hurting emotionally from the heart because of something your head didn't do. I'm just saying. I know that sounded fucked up, but okay. Y'all get what I'm saying. So there's new, but the new is going to be built off of what you've learned. That World card, you're going to have to get down. The stability will come, but you're going to be moving at a much slower pace now. So whatever you decide to do, whether it's looking for another job, looking for another partner, whatever, you're going to be moving at a slower rate. This is mama. And mama don't do nothing till mama get ready. That kind of energy. It may be a bit slow going. It's the only thing. But if you move slow, the ground is fertile. But if you're moving too fast, you're going to miss that part. I'm just saying. At the end of all of this, King of Wands. Woo, all these kings and queens. The King of Wands and the ass end of the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to find out, and this could be an earth sign, with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They were the ones that had the goodies in the first place. You see that watermelon sitting back there? And that's exactly what that's saying. You may have to circle back to someone, but they're going to, whoever it is, earth sign or not, the word strict is there. Not going to be so easy. Not going to be so easy. If you're trying to go back to an old job that you left by accident, wink, wink, not going to be so easy to get back in. So the struggle is there. The struggle is definitely there. You may be dealing with arrogant people, intolerant people that don't want to let you come back to where you were. You may have left, some of you, without knowing it, may have left another company in a lurch. I'm just kicking it out like it's coming in. Even if it's a romantic partner, you may have left them stuck with something, tickets or whatever. And so, like I said, if you're trying to come back, that offer up there, sitting on top of the justice in your challenge position. Some of you you can make the offer to come back, but strict, that word right there. King of Wands, action. Whoever the other person is, they're going to put their foot down. There's your action. So they're going to let you come back on the premise of you do da-da-da-da-da. I don't think Scorpio's going to like that. Y'all don't get down like that. But if this is somebody you really care about, something you're really sorry you left, some of you may go ahead and buckle up and do whatever it is needs to be done. Release the negative. Whatever negative energy you're holding on to, Scorpio, let it go. Because that's not helping your cause at this point. Maybe one more chance. Maybe. But hope. Keep it alive, I'm just saying. There may be one more chance for you, Scorpio. So that's the universe kind of giving you a wink, wink, nod, nod. But again, how you come back at it is going to be the difference. Stay in your lane. Maybe that's for future reference instead of trying to do too much in the future. Trying to overthink situations, overfeeling, because y'all are Scorpios and water signs and emotional. Staying balanced helps you stay in your lane. So at the end of all of this, it may really be about self-care. Maybe you aren't getting enough sleep, which is in turn kind of just putting you in a fog and got you making fucked up decisions for whatever reason, or listening to the wrong people because you're not getting enough rest, you're stressed out, you got too much stuff going on, however that's resonating. Scorpio, I love you. I hope y'all have a good weekend and a good week, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.